Hello, welcome back to Entrepreneurship with Elijah. So, guys, I know it's been a while since I initially posted my first video, and you guys probably were so proud of me, and then you realized that I was just procrastinating on yet another project. However, I promise you guys that I just have been procrastinating because I want to showcase the best possible content that I can for you guys. And again, I want it to be business based. So I want this to be information that you guys are able to utilize to create your own business, whatever it is, because that's what I'm doing right now. And I find that there's not enough information on one particular site that really just gives you a easy formula or easy guide step by step on how to just get your business up and coming, whether it be service based, product based, and I wanted to provide you guys with that. So with this new and coming second video that I have for you guys today, this is going to be the business plan episode. So I advise that you guys take out your pens and your papers because I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information you can utilize. So what a business plan is, essentially, number one, it's the first step in creating your business. And it's something that a lot of people fail to create. I was one of those people who failed to create a business plan. And in turn, my business is not where it should be today, where it can be, had I put in the right work and had I done things correctly. Now, I'm here to tell you that a business plan is essential just because it does give you that guide that you're able to create for yourself that tells you, plans out exactly what your business objectives is and how you plan on getting it. What strategies are you going to utilize in order to achieve those objectives? So pretty simple, pretty easy. However, there is a certain I don't even know the fucking word right now. There is a certain, like, I don't want to keep using formula or strategy, I don't want to be repetitive. But there's a certain formula you're supposed to follow when creating your business plan. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly what that is. So there are six basic components that your business plan should entail, right? And I'm going to go over these more in depth, but first I'm going to list them simply for you. So the first component would be your executive summary, which is just basically an overview of the business and your plans for the business. What you guys plan on doing, what do you plan on achieving? The next component is the opportunity. And what this basically is answering, what you're addressing in this section is, what are you selling and what are you solving? Who is your competition? So whatever field you're in, who is the big business in that field right now? And how are you gonna differentiate yourself from that business? So that way those customers are going to you rather than going to them. So the next step in the business plan is execution. And this is essentially the most important step of the business plan because it's addressing how you're going to turn that plan and that idea into an actual business and how you're going to get things done and how you're going to profit off of it. So step 4 is you describing the company and your management system and how that's set up. Step 5 is addressing your financial forecast. And this is going to be a bit of a hefty topic. It's going to be a bit confusing because it has a lot of numbers and money involved to do with it. A lot of accounting to do with it. So you can't get someone to write this for you. You can't get an accountant. You can't do that. However, I'm here to let you know that you also can do it yourself. So the financial plan completes the business plan. What it essentially is just you defining what your goal is in terms of profit and you analyzing your exact steps on how to get there, because that's how simple it is. Number 6 It's just your appendix, and what that is just a space that allows you to add in any other extra pictures, diagrams, graphs, any other information that you wanted to add in that you weren't able to really add in the other components of the business plan. So now we're going to dive right in to each of those sections that I just listed, and we are going to get your step-by-step formula on how to create whatever it is you're looking to create today. So you can create it when? Today. So going back to your executive summary, basically this is going to be an overview of all of the components that we just went over. So you can do this last once you are more educated on exactly how you plan on getting everything done, and you're like for sure memorize your business in and out. Or you can do this before everything, your choice. However, you want to initially start off with a one sentence tagline, which is essentially your value proposition. And what that is, it's a quick sentence that gets out there the problem and the solution, and how you make sure that that sentence makes you stand out from the rest. And then again, you'll go more in depth to everything we talked about. So the problem, your solution, your target market, your competition. You'll go into the financial plan, your company overview, all of that extra nitty gritty. Initially in the opportunity, make sure you're identifying, again, the problem. So when you think of your target market, what are their pain points? What are the problems that they're having that they're looking to get solved? Is it already getting solved? How could it be better? How could it be more cheaper? How could it be better quality wise? You really want to ensure that you're defining the problem, so that way there's no question why you're not the better alternative than the competition. And honestly, the best way to do that is to literally go outside and get in contact with your potential customers. Talk to people, talk to anybody to get anyone's opinion. Don't just speak to yourself, or don't just speak to people who may have a biased opinion, like friends and family, who might just tell you stuff that you want to hear as opposed to stuff that might actually help you. And the next step after that, and we're still within the opportunity section, is you're going to want to do some market research so you can actually do more in-depth research on that target market. You want to focus on 3 specific things and identify, basically, these are the normal 3 segments that you would focus on when in terms of your target market. And it's going to be, you're going to want to address exactly who you wish to reach in terms of customers, who you're actually attempting to reach out with your ads, who you're focusing your ads and your marketing strategies on, and who are actually buying into your product. And within those 3 crowds, you'll figure out how to reach more, how you are actually gaining the ones that you are already gaining, and what you can be doing better potentially to attract the customers that you want to attract but haven't attracted just yet. Once those segments are defined, you're going to want to go again more in depth on exactly who is the ideal customer for each of those segments. You're going to want to get as specific as eye color and hair color. Now, what this actually is, and this is an actual process that actual entrepreneurs and business owners do in terms of their sales and marketing processes, to figure out and to always keep in mind, what does my ideal customer want? So you're going to create what's called a buyer persona for each segment market that you've created, for the people that you wish to reach, for the people that you're actually putting the work in to reach with your ads, and for the people you're actually attracting, the traffic you're getting from those ads. What that is an actual specific person. You can minimize it to just 3. An actual specific person that you're going to create. And within this, you're going to create a name. You can add a photo. You're going to include demographics. So what this is going to be is their age, their gender, education, ethnicity, family status, so on. Include a professional background and a personal background as well. You're going to want to mention some goals in there. What are their goals? What do they aspire to do? Concerns, pain points, some of their past buying behaviors. Who are they buying into right now in terms of your market area? Add any more other specifics that you want. Get as in-depth as you want, but this is going to make the process of creating content in general that's going to actually reach customers and gain you profit. It's going to make that process 100 times easier. I promise you. The last step of this opportunity section, bear with me, I know it's a long section. It is going to be you addressing your competition. So never be too naive and believe that you have no competition. Just by you analyzing your competition, it will give you much more better focus on how you can gain that upper hand and basically take their traffic and their traction. So I suggest doing your market research on all the companies that are providing that same exact service or product or targeting your same target market, and you figure out how you can do it cheaper, how you can do it better, faster, more efficient, so that way you become the better alternative. The first step of now the execution component is your marketing plan. Now that we've figured out our target market and we've well defined them, we've created our buyer personas so we know exactly who we're trying to market to, it makes the marketing process that much easier. You actually have a focus rather than, okay, what should I do? You know exactly what you should do now in order to attract who you want. Because why? Because you've talked to them, you identified them, and they basically told you, this is what I want and this is what I like. So it doesn't get much easier than that. Now, within your marketing and sales plan, you're going to be addressing exactly how you plan on selling to your target market, whether it's product-based, service-based, if you're going to do it online, if you're going to go door to door, if you're going to be subscription-based, a whole bunch of factors to think of. So want to consider your pricing. How are you going to go about pricing? Are you going to be the cheaper option? You want to be the more affordable option? Or do you plan on being higher quality so you're okay with pricing on a bit on the higher end? What sorts of activities or partnerships you're going to get into? That's always a big deal. You always want to consider networking and who are your connections that you're able to utilize, obviously within your field and within your market. But partnership will always help you build traction, build traffic, and gain profit in the end. Basically, what all that information is a positioning statement. And what that does is identify how you are the better solution amongst the competition. So all that we talked about would be the first part of the marketing plan. Also within the marketing plan, you want to consider pricing, and when considering how you're going to price your product, you're not just considering if you're going to just do it low just because, or just price it high just because. There's actual metrics that you want to base it on. So you want to make sure that you're actually gaining more than you're spending. So whatever that is, that amount that you're putting in, you want to make sure you're considering that when you're pricing the product. Make sure it's definitely priced more than what you paid for and what it took for you to make the product or deliver the service. You definitely want to consider your competition, and you want to consider your own quality depending on what it does, depending on how big it is, depending on the purpose of it. It's a whole bunch of factors to include in that. And last but not least, you want to make sure you're matching the market rate. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that product or service is, that more than likely already exists in some way, shape, or form, that it's not something that your customers will be unwilling to pay for. Within the marketing plan, you want to list your promotional strategies. So, how are you reaching these customers? Advertising. How do you plan on advertising? Traditionally based, flyers, post-its, business cards, online based. And then you definitely want to measure the success of how much traction is coming from each. Are you getting more people online? Are you getting more people from word of mouth, through referral, etc., etc.? You can also find that out by doing simple surveys to figure out how people are finding out about your company. So that way you can make sure that you're spending money on those marketing tactics as opposed to tactics that aren't gaining you any profit whatsoever. You want to also consider social media. There's many social media platforms, and today technology is definitely the way to get the word out there. So that is a promotional strategy you'll definitely want to utilize. And last but not least, alliances and partnerships. Who are you strategically partnering up with that will help you multiply the amount of customers you're trying to reach per month or per year? The next part of the execution is operations, and that's the nitty gritty hands on work. So, how are you getting that product or service out there? How are you distributing? How are you manufacturing this item? What are the costs and the amounts for basically all of this work that's being put into it? So if you're like a technology based company, if you're using some sort of app or software to sustain the business, you have to mention this part in here. How much is that costing? Why is that a benefit for your company? How does it serve a purpose? Where are your products coming from? Are they getting to you? If it's product based, and how are you giving it to the customers? Figure out all the cost range for these. And if it's service based, you want to think about maybe transportation costs. Next up, you want to ensure that you've well defined, what you're looking to achieving. So that's your milestones. What is it exactly what's your vision for your business? What do you want the legacy for your business to be? What do you really want to accomplish rather than the total problem? Rather than the initial problem, what's the bigger picture? And in addition to that, you want to mention what you've already accomplished, and also what metrics are you measuring in order to determine if you have accomplished your goals or if you guys have been slacking on accomplishing your goals. So the company overview is basically self-explanatory. Who does your team entail of as of now? What type of business are you? Are you an LLC? Are you a sole proprietorship? Are you a partnership? Where are you located? If you are already up and coming, what has the history been like so far? What have you profited off? How much have you profited off of your business as of today? And the only other new thing I want to add is you want to start off this company overview with your mission statement. And that's basically, again, your value proposition. And it sums up your business and your total focus of that business and what you're looking to achieve in one or two sentences. So the financial plan, which is our last step, and it is the most scariest, so bear with me, guys. I'm going to start off very slow by defining exactly what each of these financial statements are that you need to utilize to keep track of what you are gaining and losing. And you always want what you're losing to be less, than what you are gaining. Always. The first step to this is a sales forecast. And this is just projecting what you expect to make. So in terms of this, you're going to want to break it down. If your product, whether your product or a service-based company, you're going to want to analyze certain metrics to define. For example, if you are, let's say, a service-based company, are you making more money during winter time, during summertime, during springtime, during fall time? Or do you want to do it like, are you making more money throughout the day, throughout the afternoon, throughout the night? Vice versa, if it's a product-based company, within each product realms you have, let's say you sell eyelashes and lips products and hair products, which one is selling more? Or if you just sell lip products, which variety, which brand, which line that came out is selling over another line, so that way you can focus more on that. And why is this one selling more? So that way you can apply that to your other product or services to make it profit just as much as this one is. Now, if you do, or if you are employing people, or if you are not working alone, you do want to include how much you are paying your employees or how much of the cost is getting split between you and your partner. Next up is the income statement, and this is basically where you're analyzing exactly if you're making a profit or if you're losing out on your company. Because we can sit here and try to keep everything written on a book, but in all actuality, everything that you're spending, so every little piece of paper and every service you're utilizing off of other professionals to help you get your work done, all of that is work that you're putting into your business and essentially money that is lost. So you want to figure out if this business is actually worth it and if it's actually getting you to where you want to be. So some of the things that are going to be included in this income statement is sales, your sales. So you're tracking your income and revenue. How much money are you making? Cost of goods sold. So how much are you spending on the stuff that you're selling? You also need a cash flow statement. And what that is it's just basically keeping track of how much money you have actually that you're able to use towards the business. And this is really used for higher scale businesses, not really for startups. However, it is something that is typically included in the financial plan. And lastly, last part of the financial plan is your balance sheet, which is going to analyze your assets, your liabilities, and owner's equity. And all of this information in turn helps you figure out the company's net worth. So what do you have in store? What debts are owed, and what money do you have what money do you have for yourself aside from the business that you can use to fund the business? So guys, this information that I literally gave you, that I literally just spent 2 hours creating and putting together to showcase in an episode that will probably only be 30 minutes. It's very useful information. When I tell you, this is literally a step-by-step guide on how to get that business up and running. If you haven't figured it out yet, if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you have a good idea, but you don't know how to execute it, this is the execution plan. So please do utilize everything that I have said in this video. I hope you took notes. If you didn't, please comment below. Any questions you have, I am willing to answer. If not, just simply rewind. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I honestly, Scout's honor, I ensure that I will have another video up next week, okay? I will not quote a day. However, I will have one up next week. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Please like this video, comment below, help a bitch out, and, promote me. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I gave you guys something that you can utilize for your own business.